When money gets tight, we typically see two reactions. I got to cut my costs, I got to raise my prices. And sometimes these are both the wrong answer. So the real question is then if they could both be the wrong answer or what is the right answer? Well, let's take a look today about the times when we should cut costs, times we should raise prices, and other times when the third option is the far better option. So, why do we cut costs? Why do we raise prices? And why are these the most common bits of advice that people typically hear? Well, cutting costs, it feels responsible. It's safe. It's the adult grown up move, right? When money's tight at home in your bank account, it's like, oh, okay, well, I just got to, don't have as much Starbucks this month. Maybe don't go to the movies as often. But a business and your personal funds are not the same. And when it comes to raising prices, that's really uncomfortable. It feels really risky. It's a gamble, right? Well, what if I raise my prices and people stop buying? Very, very common thing I hear. And yeah, that is a risk. But we have risks with cutting costs and with raising prices, and we have benefits with cutting costs and raising prices. It all really depends on if and when either one of these is the real solution for you and your business. Well, here's a pretty quick checklist that we can take a look at. Number one, if your spending isn't supporting the delivery, this is something that doesn't actually move the business forward. It's an extra expense you don't need. Do you have an extra copier that's been sitting around collecting dust? Well, guess what? You should probably cut it. It's not supporting you, it's not supporting your business. If it's just hanging around, it's not benefiting you or benefiting the customer or the delivery or your employees. Get rid of it. It's not benefiting. Additionally, if your costs are growing faster than your revenue, you should probably take a look at that. Are there ways that you can reduce your spending? Maybe this vendor that you've been using for years has just started charging an arm and a leg, and you have no idea why those costs are so high because it's the same stuff you're getting. Well, take a look around. Maybe there's another vendor you can go to who has the same item at a better price, lets you cut your costs that way. And then, very commonly, you have waste in plain sight. I don't know about you, but I have so many times I get something and I go, wait a minute, I'm still paying for the subscription. I totally forgot it was there. Perfect example. Take a look if it is not something that you are actively using, or if it's an inefficiency. Maybe there's a software you've been using that's not actually helping. In fact, it's taking, oh my goodness, so long to get people on board with the software. There's something else that's better and also less expensive. Absolutely cut it. Great. So we have a decent idea of when we might want to start cutting costs. But what about when we want to start raising prices? What are some things we should be looking for? Because raising prices is scary. We want to make sure it's the right move. Well, if you can't afford to deliver properly, you should probably be raising your prices. If you really just can't afford to keep this business moving, you can't afford to get those products and services that you need for your business to deliver what you sell, then you just need to raise those prices. If your pricing hasn't changed at all, if you've been using the same pricing for the past 5, 6, 10 years, oh my goodness, people, please take a moment, change your pricing. At the very least, review it. Maybe you don't need to change pricing on everything, but there may be some items that simply need to go up because it costs you so much more than it used to deliver and to deliver high value, high efficiency, high quality that your clients deserve. And if you find that, I'm going to tell you right now, if no one ever tells you no, then guess what? You're probably underpriced for what you deliver. You should hear people say no. That's a fact. If absolutely nobody says no, that is a huge sign that you are probably way underpriced compared to the value and quality of what it is that you are delivering to your clients. Doesn't mean you got to go hog wild, but it does mean that you are not living in the same area that you used to. Your quality has gone up. Your pricing needs to go up as well. It needs to match what you are delivering. So we've now talked about cutting costs and we've talked about raising prices. But we did mention there was a third option, didn't we? So let's talk about that now. That third option is when the leak is hiding somewhere else. The issue that's holding you back isn't actually costs that have gotten out of control. It isn't actually the fact that you just haven't been charging as much as you need to. There's something else going on. And honestly, I find this is very often the case for many businesses is it's not that they need to cut costs, it's not that they need to raise prices, even though they may, but even if they do, there's usually this third thing hanging around and hiding in the background. People discount. If you are discounting, guess what? You're giving stuff away for free. You have to do so much more volume to make up for that discount that it is crazy. You may have broken systems. If you've got serious inefficiencies that are costing you time, rework, and money in every job, then guess what? That's going to cause huge problems. For example, are you tracking waste? Are you tracking to make sure that you know not only how long does it take to produce what you sell, but how long should it take? Are there little inefficiencies? Are you lacking a system for tools and making sure that the same tool is put in the same spot? You would be shocked at how crazy it gets when a tiny inefficiency is repeated over and over and over again, and it costs you so much money, so much time. And inefficiencies like that can really make a huge difference in your business. If you've got broken marketing and sales, well, guess what? You're selling to the wrong people. You have the wrong folks buying. You're having difficulty getting people to buy. Well, then guess what? Or, hey, people aren't. I mentioned this before. Maybe you don't have trouble getting them to buy. They buy way too much. Well, guess what? That's another issue. If you've got an owner and you're the bottleneck, if everything has to run through the owner, that business is going to struggle. It might not struggle initially, but when you're trying to scale and you're trying to grow and you're trying to figure out why you just don't have the money you should. But another issue is your timing of cash flow. You may not need to make a change in anything at all except when money is getting into your bank account. There are all kinds of times that we just aren't following up on invoices, that we need to make sure we're getting paid before we pay our bills. All of these things really do add up, and you would be surprised how often the problem isn't a leak anywhere in here. It's just a matter of money not getting to us as fast as it should. So when we're talking about, do I need to cut costs? Do I need to raise prices? And you're feeling the pain of money being tight in your business, you shouldn't really be asking, should I cut or should I raise? It should be, where's the money going and why? And also, when? Not just where, not just why, but when. When is the money coming to me? When is the money going out? And then also, where and why. When we do this, we can start to diagnose and figure out where the actual issue is occurring. We can find our constraint and we can fix it. We can say, hey, here's what's really happening. Here is the real reason why money is tight in my business right now. Maybe it's that I'm spending more than I should on things and I need to cut costs. Maybe it's that, hey, I just have not been charging as much as I should for what I produce. And maybe it's that money's just not getting to me fast enough. Or I need to fix inefficiencies. Or I have a broken sales system. Find first the reason and then you can finally solve it. So thank you so much. If you would like more help, I have a walk up webinar. It has 3 case studies that show you some ways that I diagnose, just like I've done here, and you can use it to diagnose your business. I will link it to you so you can look at it, check it out. Thanks so much for joining me. Go forth and profit, everybody.